Okay, here's more stuff. And this is still related to all the Charlie Kirk stuff, but as well as a lot of the very divisive people. Let's get into this.
Well, it's something I would do, yeah. If I have support from the people back here, I think we'd start with Pam, I think. But I would, if you give me, I would do that 100%. And others also, by the way. But Antifa is terrible.
Exactly.
There are.
They've destroyed things, they fought the police, they fought to kill the police, and they've got away with this way too fucking long.
Other groups, yeah, there are other groups. We have some pretty radical groups, and they got away with murder. And also, I've been speaking to the Attorney General about bringing RICO against some of the people that you've been reading about that have been putting up millions and millions of dollars for agitation. These aren't protests. These are crimes, what they're doing, where they're throwing bricks at cars of the of ICE and Border Patrol. And they come in with a beautiful new car. They're so proud. It's Border Patrol, ICE, it's got whatever it is.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they're throwing
in California.
rocks at it. And after 50 yards, it looks like an old beat-up vehicle. It was just brand new. It was just bought for the purposes. And they don't have to take that anymore. I let it be known. We'll take responsibility. They don't have to take it anymore. And they don't want to take it. They were told by a past administration, it became almost a culture, if somebody throws a rock at you, do nothing. If somebody spits in your face, do nothing. And I say, when they spit, you hit. Do whatever you want.
Called defending
whatever
yourself.
the hell you want. I watched it so sick it made me.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think it was Joe Biden. But during that time, the cops just weren't allowed to do anything or even like help people during that time. And it was all because they were allowed to be hit, whatever, and nothing they could do be done. Absolute bullshit.
4 years I had to sit home and watch people screaming at policemen and spitting in their face, and they weren't able to do anything. They just had
It's called assault.
grin and bear it. They're standing up like a piece of steel. And a woman, in many cases.
And here's the thing. People will say, oh, disproportion of force. It's like, why would you want a fair fight against somebody who wants to fucking kill you? If they throw bricks at you, punch you, and all that stuff, that's not you having unjustified force just because you have weapons and armor. That's you defending yourself, because these people, if you didn't have any of that, they would do their best to hurt you.
Women, you can see they're professional agitators. I had one the other night. I had 4 the other night, all in one group, total phonies. I started to scream when I got into a restaurant, oh, something with Palestine. I said, well, I'm doing a great job for peace in the Middle East. I should get lots of awards for that, right? With the Abraham Accords and everything else. But a woman just stood up and started screaming. And she got booed out of the place, too. The people, there were a lot of people in the restaurant. I went there to show how safe, and it was safe. I mean, the woman is just a mouthpiece. All she was a...
Yeah. Let's get to this other one, too. This one's about J.D. Vance, and thank God J.D. Vance, thank God these guys have balls to say exactly what it was. But J.D. Vance, he hosted the Charlie Kirk show. Thank God. But, yeah. He was a great friend of his. He was a big part in getting Trump elected, and I'm glad they put J.D. Vance as the person to speak for it, because recently, as many of you saw, him and his wife were with Erica Kurt. They took him to his memorial. They went on a plane with him. So right now, J.D. Vance is doing all the parts related to Charlie Kirk and helping the nation with that, while Trump is doing a lot of the other events. Like, he went to the 9/11 memorial instead, and lots of stuff are happening. I'm glad people are showing their support everywhere for Charlie Kirk, and thank God. He was a great guy.
There is no unity with people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk said in order to excuse his murder. There is no unity with someone who harasses an innocent family the day after the father of that family lost a dear friend. There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these articles, who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers, who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck because he spoke words with which they disagree.
Yeah. And remember that if you believe something similar to Charlie Kirk, they basically think you're the exact same thing. The same fucking buzzwords they've used for thousands and thousands of times during the past since 2016. They think you're all that. If Charlie Kirk was the nicest, and to be honest, he was a pretty run-of-the-mill, like, conservative and Christian. He didn't have many really extreme or crazy values for even the type of person he was, and they demonized him. Basically, everyone who's even close to his politics or anywhere else on the right, they do not believe in peace. They do not believe in anything with him, and it's fucking terrifying. They celebrated his death, they all laughed, and it was disgusting. And the same thing, if you're moderate left, slightly left-leaning, you're still not far left enough, so they don't even like you either. But it's a very big problem in the Democratic Party, and the fact that none of the media stations or people are acknowledging it or doing anything to fix it is the problem within itself.
Did you know that the George Soros Open Society Foundation and the Ford Foundation, the groups who funded that disgusting article justifying Charlie's death, do you know they benefit from generous tax treatment? They are literally subsidized by you and me, the American taxpayer. And how do they reward us? By setting fire to the house built by the American family over 250 years. I am desperate for our country to be united in condemnation of the actions and the ideas that killed my friend. I want it so badly that I will tell you a difficult truth. We can only have it with people who acknowledge that political violence is unacceptable, and when we work to dismantle the institutions that promote violence and terrorism in our own country.
Yeah. Remember, as Destiny said a bit ago, if they want you silent, they basically don't want you to talk, because the problem is you're talking. Let me bring up this video.
Hash out the crime
Here it is.
statistics?
Not exactly like
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look.
And if you look, do you notice something about this leftist liberal? What do you notice? You see how he has guns? You see how they always go to, oh, it's the gun's fault, it's the gun's fault. You notice how these people always have guns? The truth is, it's not that they think guns are dangerous. Is that they think you having guns is a disservice to them because they want to be the only ones who have guns, putting you in danger and hurting you. That's the truth. That's why you see this armory behind him. That is why.
To their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care. I'm playing video games, okay?
Yeah. As you can see, these guys always have something in common. This is Destiny too. He's one of the biggest, like, left-leaning streamers too. Like, he's not some, like, offshoot guy. Like, Hassan Piker, right under him is pretty much Destiny and a few other people. But yeah, the same fucking thing. Absolutely disgusting. But they want you dead or they want you silent. That's the problem.
Grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side. Why do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United States is not
the temperature.
able.
You're mocking his widow.
Already inflamed.
You're mocking his widow.
About? We've had multiple political assassinations over the.
And did he ever acknowledge who they were? The CEO of United Health. Donald Trump's 3 assassination attempts, with one of them nearly being successful. The successful assassination of Charlie Kirk. These are basically the people that are the faces of this group. Absolutely vile, disgusting rhetoric. And the fact that they've been getting away with this stuff for this long is absolutely disgusting. There is no unity to be made because the unity he wants relates to you being dead or completely silent and him having full control.
past year. What do you mean it's turning up the temperature?
Why did you mock his widow?
Online
Because
Why did you mock his widow?
Because she's being used as a political weapon right now
Wow.
for conservatives to continue. What do you mean? Wow, she's literally.
Yeah, political weapon. Her husband just died in front of her. Her husband just died, and that's what you're saying. Oh, political weapon. Her husband literally just died on national TV, and people on your side happily cheered it on. This guy is basically saying, "Oh, we don't want you to do anything after that because it's better if you don't talk." This is the rhetoric from a lot of like these people. I see no CNN, I see no MSNBC, I see no BBC talking about how these guys are quite literally extremely problematic to the party.
Doing
her husband just got murdered
on email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
and
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You won't condemn it.
Can't even tell his side.
You're
to
so
turn the temperature
deranged
down.
about Trump that you
are
cannot condemn the
unhinged.
murder
It is such
because
a
you're
joke,
waiting
and
for
you guys
Donald
sit
Trump
here
to
and
say
make money
something.
off of it. It's
All right, let me bring
crazy
in
to
let me
me
bring
that
in
Republicans
Jack.
can't
Let me
do
bring
it.
in let me bring in Jack
What a joke of the
Posobiec.
world.
I got to
And there
say,
will be there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down,
Fine.
like Biden could, like Obama?
No. Nope. What he means is he wants the right to not be sad about their political figure dying. That is what Destiny wants. He wants you to be calm. He wants you to be collected while they can do whatever they want. Because he knows that this is a threat to him and his side that people are noticing and are angry with him. And the fact that Trump had the balls to basically say this is a major leftist problem. Like this is there is no denying it at this point. They tried to also blow up a Fox News van right after Charlie Kirk's death. Like, this is sickening. This is disgusting.
Kamala could,
Fine.
like the Clintons could, like Kamala could. Why
Fine.
not?
Why can't you condemn the murder of
See,
Charlie
it's
Kirk?
unbelievable. I'm not the president
Why
of the United
can't
States.
you
can't answer that
condemn the
question. It's
murder of Charlie
unbelievable.
Kirk?
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn?
He can't condemn it because then it humanizes the other side to his viewers, and that he does not want. He wants you to be seen as an animal, as something that is easily disposable by him and his viewers.
The murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should
Yes,
be the
it
one
was.
that is driving
Yes.
it.
It
actually was your side that caused it. It was your side.
This guy was raised in a white Christian
He was a
household.
radicalized.
So he put on a bullet a literal fascist Italian song about fighting fascism. Number 1, he was dating a guy who wanted to transition into a girl. Number 2, he was part of Antifa Discord chats. Number 3, there was a group of people who were all trans community that were pretty much involved in this. Number 4, number 5, his own dad turned him in, and his dad and every one of his friends said he was the only liberal in his family. Number 6. And number 7, these people continue to lie and lie and lie and lie. That's what they do. They gaslight their viewers into doing something like this. Then the moment they do, they try to use misinformation and lies in order to basically tell you, oh, this is a problem within your side. Like, no, this is a problem within you guys. And you're the faces of it.
In a Christian
leftist
state.
ideology.
He wasn't radicalized by leftism at all. You have no proof of that whatsoever.
That's what
Just
the
like
investigators
the one that killed
are
Melissa
saying.
Was a conservative, just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were
was not
conservatives,
a
just like the Proud
conservative, it was
Boys
a
were conservative.
pro-Palestinian activist
Every
that
single
I
one of
heard.
these, every single one of these people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec, what, the author of Unhuman, another person that Charlie supported. Good one, dude.
Well, I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie
Yes, you are
Kirk.
acting like an unhuman.
Why can't I hear Donald Trump
'Cause you were against
condemn violence in
humanity.
this
All
country?
right, you
Why
won't
can't I
condemn
hear
it. Okay, we've
I
all
can't hear it.
heard.
That's insane
We've
to
all
me.
heard you repeatedly refuse to
And we've
condemn it.
heard Donald Trump
Yeah.
refuse to
Jack-
condemn
Jack
it. But for
Posobiec.
some reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening.
Exactly. And that's what he wants. He wants him to be able to get away with whatever he says without you being able to do anything. And look, here's another video of a supporter I found. Evil people.
I was not kidding when I said if you were gonna get the job done, there were 2 better candidates. And furthermore, when that happens, and it will.
She needs the FBI on her ass.
It will. Not only will we be insensitive, that'll be the least of your worries.
Evil. Absolute evil. I'm not going to play the rest because this woman literally is the definition of what these people want. You see how she's laughing? That is what they are. This is what these people are. These people continuously do that over and over.
Why is only this?
Now let me go here. This is another one. And this one, this guy cooked. This guy cooked hard.
What is interesting here is why is only this happening on the left and not the right? That's all we need to know. There's absolutely no cognitive...
What about Melissa Hortman that we just talked about?
You want to talk about Melissa Hortman? Did you know her name before it happened? None of us did.
Exactly.
None of us were spending every single day talking about Mrs. Hortman. I never heard of her until after she died.
Doesn't matter?
Don't play that bullshit.
He's not saying that it doesn't matter. He's basically just saying that nobody heard of her until Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and now these people are using it as a way to basically say, oh, there's violence on both sides. What about the girl that died on the train? What about the girl that was choked in her sleep in both Democratic cities? What about the guys who tried to blow up the Fox News van? What about the guys who destroyed multiple morals for Charlie Kirk on the street? What about those people? What about the people that are stealing signs and taking things from people and using violence in order to scare people that support Charlie Kirk and are sad about his death? What about them? What about the people that laughed in our faces? Like Stephen King, for example. He got canceled, and rightfully so. As well as that one guy who was in that band who happily talked about his death and was happy about it. And then he made a video next time saying, "Oh, I never did that." Like no, you fucking did.
Shit with me. You know what I'm saying is there was no demonization.
I condemn violence against that person.
About that woman before she died. It was a specific crime against her by somebody who knew her. The same. Now you could bring up Josh Shapiro, but then you will not bring up, for example, that was a pro-Palestine person. So don't use your. What about this? The fact of the matter is the both sides argument not only doesn't fly, we don't care. We don't care about your both sides argument. That shit is dead.
One side is here, the other side is all the way fucking up here.
On your side, your beliefs do not match reality, so you're coming up with these rationalizations like, what about this or what about that?
Exactly.
We're not doing that because we saw it happen. We saw a young, bright man assassinated, and we know who did it. We are not coming up with rationalizations. We are calm, we are honest, and we are resolute. We're not defensive, and I understand the defensiveness. I understand why people are saying, what about this and what about this? Because if you have to face the underlying fact to this, your life is going to fall apart because you're going to realize you're not the good guys. If you
exactly. And this is the thing. I even had someone I personally knew as a coworker say, "What about this?" during Charlie Kirk's death. Oh, what about that? It's like you didn't denounce any of the people on your side that did it. You're just saying, "What about this?" Guess what? His was recent. He died horribly, tragically. The kids lost a father, and she lost her husband, and he was taken away from them by force. He never left. He never did anything bad. He was taken away from them. And then these people had the audacity to laugh in our faces and not once recognize that people on their side are doing this. They instead keep throwing out other things that, to be honest, at this point, don't really matter. There were tens of thousands of people making fun of him, making comments of him, or even making videos happy about his death. And what do they all have in common? Which is that if they make a second video crying or being sad, none of them acknowledge that they fucked up and they demonized Charlie Kirk when they themselves have no humanity in them.
and you defended the mutilation of children, you're not the good guys. If you sat 600, 700 cases of harassment against Republicans and you said, but what about this? What about this? And then you see this murder after calling somebody a fascist, you realize maybe I'm not the good guy. That is a hell of a realization to deal with. So therefore, you have to grasp at rationalizations. You don't have to do that, Jessica. They do. I don't believe you're part of that group, but why the hell do you have to mimic and echo that crap to us? He was a patsy. That guy was a patsy. He was under the hypnotic spell of a direct-to-consumer nihilism, the trans cult, and you know that. If you can decide that biology is false, you can agree that murder is okay and that humanity is expendable. How you cannot see that alone and see that for what the evil it is without having to attach all of these other things is beyond me.
I just want to be clear. I want to let people speak. I in no way intended at all to minimize what happened to Charlie. I was horrified by it. I have not been on the five
but
since
the two
then.
sides argument will
exactly.
All I requested, no. All that I was saying is could we have all of the information before you just say
all the information? He wrote fascist on a bullet and he's dating a transgender. What more information is needed? These people are quick to jump the gun saying he was a conservative because his family was, but they don't bother recognizing that, hey, his views became liberal over time, and hey, he's part of the transgender community because he has a boyfriend who wants to transition into a girl. It's like, it's that fucking simple. He was eventually radicalized, and all these people are saying, oh, all the facts are not here. What more facts do you need? What more facts do you need? And the answer is, there is no amount of facts they need, because they don't care about facts. They don't care. So it doesn't even matter.
they did this? Because that is a broad brush to paint with this. And this kid
Let's have a conversation.
No.
Charlie had a conversation, he got shot.
Yeah.
Look,
I'm
sorry, Jessica. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You weren't here for a week. You came in here and it's cold, and I'm sorry. But this is a story that is immune to news cycles. It's immune to rationalizations. It's immune to bias. This thing is with us for good. And we all have to deal with that.
There is no fixing it.
So that means we can't live by the same arguments that you might be reading about relativism among the media. We can't deal with those stories. It doesn't matter. The media is dead to us on this story. They built this thing up. We're dealing with it. We're going to act. We don't care what the whataboutism is anymore. That shit's dead. Sorry. For the swearing as well. I apologize to the American public. I'm going to shut up for the rest of the show.
I fully agree with him. This is not a both sides thing. This is a one side has a very high disproportionate amount of violence compared to the other, and it has to be recognized. But guess what? None of the leaders are doing it, so we have to do it ourselves. Easy as that. Absolute disgusting behavior by these people. And look at that. We have already canceled events due to security issues and have an increase in death threats. This is Tim Pool. Yeah. If this is what happened to Tim Pool, what's happening to Ben Shapiro? What's happening to Alex Jones? These guys said they're going to continue going to colleges after seeing that, and I respect them for it. How much do you think they're being talked negatively about and having people, try to justify keeping them out, keeping them silent? It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And look, I'm going to show this again. Look, everything on the left. Everything on the left. And I'm not saying there's nothing that happened on the right. I'm just saying that, why is it like the right is 5% of the violence the left has done for all these years, has got away with for all these years? Remember when they were like, all these protests are peaceful, oh, nothing violent is happening. They were all peaceful protests, mostly peaceful protests. Absolutely disgusting behavior by these people. And now, what are they going to say? Every time, like, they say, oh, this is not right, this is bad, another video keeps going, exposing them. Telling people exactly who they are, exactly who's bad. I'm so thankful Elon Musk bought Twitter. He lets you actually be treated like an adult. He doesn't censor things to you. He lets stories naturally grow. But yeah, this is absolute disgusting behavior by them. And it mustn't be forgotten.